What happens when a hero's destiny isn't really a crown, but more like a crushing burden?
Yeah, or when prophecy becomes this weapon, not a promise.
Exactly. Welcome, you deeply curious learners, to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging headfirst into Dune, Part 2.
That scorching sand, the complex politics.
Absolutely. This isn't just, another sequel. Critics were calling it one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made.
Pure cinema, high praise indeed.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we've dug through, everything. Critical analyses, production notes, interviews, lore dives.
All the good stuff.
To pull out the key insights, we'll unpack the visuals, the characters, how they actually made it, and those big questions it asks about, like power and belief.
And our mission today really is to break down how Denis Villeneuve didn't just adapt Herbert's book, which is massive,
right,
but how he expanded Arrakis, gave those complex themes new life, made something that just, hit audiences and critics hard.
Totally. So by the end of this, you'll be properly informed on this whole epic saga.
You really will.
Okay, so let's start where the first film left off. Arrakis. Dune. Part 2. American epic space opera through and through.
The second half of Villeneuve's big two-part adaptation of the 65 novel.
And it finally hit theaters March 1st, 2024 in the U.S. After that delay, remember, the Hollywood labor disputes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be October 23. Felt like a long wait.
It did. And it's long, 2 hours, 46 minutes.
That's 166 minutes, a serious commitment.
But almost everyone said it just flew by, like they never felt bored.
Which is incredible for a film that dense, speaks volumes about the pacing.
And the genres. Action, adventure, drama, sci-fi, fantasy, epic. It nails all of them.
It really does. Blends them perfectly.
And the main man behind it all is Denis Villeneuve. Director, co-writer.
Alongside John Spates, adapting Herbert's novel, of course.
So the core plot, just to set the scene. Paul Atreides, now with the Fremen, seeking revenge.
Against the Harkonnens, the Emperor, everyone who destroyed his family.
But it's complicated, isn't it? He's got this choice between Shani, this love that's growing,
and the fate of the entire universe, which he sees ending terribly.
Yeah, trying to stop this awful future only he can foresee. It's intense.
Right from the start, the reaction was huge. An 8.5 on IMDb, which is massive.
Over 650,000 users. And a 79 Metascore, generally favorable.
Yeah, and Rotten Tomatoes, 92% from critics. They called it visually thrilling and narratively epic.
And audiences loved it even more, 95%.
That kind of agreement is pretty rare, especially for something this ambitious.
Tells you how well it landed, and the box office backed it up completely.
Oh, definitely. $714.8 million worldwide on a $190 million budget. Way more than the first film.
And that opening weekend domestically, $82.5 million. A record for March.
Doubled the first film's opening. That's not just anticipation, that's genuine excitement.
Huge appeal. It really tapped into something.
And to really get why, we need to talk about Paul and Jessica's journey, how they actually integrated with the Fremen.
Yeah, that's crucial. After House Atreides falls, Stilgar takes them to Siege Tabor, this hidden Fremen community.
Deep in the desert, a whole new world for them.
And Paul doesn't just, hang around, he dives right in.
Fully immerses himself, learns the language, Chekupsa.
Which Villeneuve and the linguist David Peterson developed, right? Adds so much authenticity.
Totally. And he becomes a Fedaykin fighter, embraces their whole way of life. It's a serious commitment.
He even gets those Fremen names. Yuzel.
The strength of a pillar.
And Muad'Dib.
The little desert mouse. Resilient. Adaptable.
Symbolic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shows he's really connecting with them.
Deeply. And Chani starts to notice. She's skeptical at first, understandably.
But when Paul says he just wants to fight with them, not rule them,
she starts to respect him, even if maybe Paul doesn't fully mean it, given his visions.
Sets up that complex dynamic between them. The love, the politics.
And this is where the Bene Gesserit's master plan really snaps into focus.
Right, their long game.
Because the Fremen aren't all on the same page. Some are suspicious, especially in the north.
But Stilgar, and many in the south, the fundamentalists, they see Paul and Jessica as fulfilling this prophecy.
The mother and son from the outer world bringing prosperity. Liberation.
And Jessica's role here is massive. Stilgar basically orders her to drink the water of life.
To become the new Reverend Mother for Siege Tabor, it's incredibly dangerous stuff. Toxic.
But it's also key to the Bene Gesserit's plan, using her.
And she does it. She transmutes the poison, which is like peak Bene Gesserit skill.
Survives, transforms it,
yeah,
and inherits all the memories of past Reverend Mothers.
Generations of knowledge. But then there's the twist with Elia, her unborn daughter.
Yeah, that was wild. The ritual awakens Elia's mind in the womb.
So Jessica can communicate with her, and Alia is already like a full Reverend Mother in consciousness.
Super creepy, but effective. They agree to push the prophecy onto the northern Fremen,
Convince them Paul is the Messiah, the Lisan al-Gaib.
which Chani and Shishakli totally see through. They know it's Bene Gesserit manipulation.
Exactly, a manufactured belief system to control them. It's central to the film's themes about faith and power.
Yeah, absolutely critical. And amid all this manipulation, Paul has these huge moments proving himself.
The Sandworm ride has to be the big one.
Visually stunning. Villeneuve apparently loved filming it.
Said it was one of his favorites. And they filmed a lot of it practically, didn't they? With a special unit.
Yeah, gave it that real scale and terror. Chalamet spent, 3 months on that sequence?
Yeah, really visualizing the worm to make it feel real. It's such a powerful moment. Earns him serious Fremen cred.
Definitely. And he's also leading these raids on Harkonnen spice operations. Successfully.
Crippling their production.
Yeah.
Showing his strategic mind. Building trust.
Building that legend. But as he gets more powerful, well, things get complicated.
That's putting it mildly. New threats emerge. His path gets darker.
Yeah, the Harkonnen response ramps up. Baron Harkonnen is furious.
And brings in his nephew, Feyd-Rautha, played by Austin Butler.
Who is just terrifyingly sadistic, a whole new level of villain.
And the Bene Gesserit are involved again, sending Lady Margot Fenring.
To check if Feyd could be their Kwisatz Haderach. And, grab his DNA for their breeding program.
Always the breeding program. Individuals are just genetic assets to them.
And Feyd's introduction. That black and white gladiator fight on JD Prime.
So brutal. Villeneuve and Greg Fraser used infrared cameras for that, right?
Give it that stark alien look. Really emphasized the Harkonnen bleakness.
And Butler's prep was intense. 4 months training with an ex-Navy SEAL.
Studied animals for movement. Even improvised that creepy kiss with the Baron.
Ugh, yeah. Villeneuve called him a mix of psychopath, swordmaster, snake, and Mick Jagger.
Butler nailed that unsettling charisma. Truly chilling.
And all this pushes Paul towards that crossroads. He doesn't want to be the Messiah.
He sees the jihad, the holy war fought in his name, and it horrifies him. Billions dead.
He's trying to resist that future. But then he bumps into Gurney Halleck again.
Thought he was dead. Huge reunion.
More than just emotional. Gurney knows where the Atreides family atomics are hidden.
A massive stockpile. Suddenly, Paul has this huge leverage. Nukes.
But before he can maybe use that leverage differently, the Harkonnens attack the north. Feyd-Rautha leads it.
Destroys Suchtaber. Kills Shishakli, Chani's friend. It's brutal.
Forces Paul and the survivors south, right into the heartland of the fundamentalist believers.
Pushing him exactly where the prophecy, and maybe his visions, said he'd go. No escape now.
And down south, he makes the big decision. Drinks the water of life himself.
Knowing the risk. Falls into that coma.
Looks like death. And Jessica has to basically force Chani
Using the voice.
to give him her tears mixed with the water of life. It's agonizing for Chani.
But it works. He wakes up, and his prescience is fully unlocked. Overwhelmingly so.
Sees all possible futures. Finds that one narrow path to victory, but the cost.
And he has that vision of adult Alia on a green Arrakis.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy's secret cameo.
Which Villeneuve said was so hard to keep quiet.
And the biggest revelation of all comes then, doesn't it, about his mother?
Yeah. He realizes Jessica is Baron Harkonnen's daughter.
Mind blown. Their whole family line, Leto and Jessica, it was orchestrated by the Bene Gesserit.
To merge the bloodlines. To create him, or someone like him. The Kwisatz Haderach.
Exposes the full scale of the manipulation. Chilling.
So all these threads, prophecy, revenge, manipulation, destiny, they all converge. One massive confrontation.
Where the fate of everything hangs in the balance.
And this is where Paul really shifts from reluctant leader to something else.
Embracing the Messiah role. Fully.
But it's dark. Villeneuve really leaned into Paul as an anti-hero here, didn't he? On the path to becoming a villain.
Yeah, and used Chanae as the counterpoint. Expanded her role from the book to be his moral compass.
Her skepticism becomes this powerful critique of his choices. It adds so much depth.
Okay, so the final act, the Grand Defensive. Paul meets the Southern Fremen Council.
And just floors them, reads their minds, basically, shows his power, declares himself the Lisan al-Gaib.
They're totally convinced, ready to follow him anywhere.
And just in time, the Emperor arrives, Shaddam IV, Christopher Walken.
Perfect casting. With Princess Irulan and his Sardaukar army, the final showdown is set.
And the Fremen attack is devastating. Atomics to reshape the battlefield, sandworms.
Just rolling over the Sardaukar, incredible spectacle.
And in the middle of it all, Paul gets his revenge. Kills Baron Harkonnen himself.
Brutally.
Yeah.
Ends that personal vendetta.
While Gurney takes out Beast Raban and Arrakis, another Harkonnen down.
So Paul captures the Emperor. Game over, you'd think.
But Paul pushes further, challenges the Emperor for the throne itself.
And demands to marry Irulan. Which just crushes Chani. You see it on her face.
It's pure politics. Cold calculation, ambition overriding love.
Meanwhile, the great houses arrive in orbit, ready to fight Paul.
But Paul threatens to destroy the spice fields. The whole universe runs on spice. It's the ultimate threat.
Shows how ruthless he's become. He understands power now. Leverage.
Then comes the duel. Feyd-Rautha steps up as the Emperor's champion.
That final fight. So intense. Butler and Chalamet trained like crazy for it.
Months of work. And they perform most of it themselves. You feel the energy.
Chalamet even does that monologue in Chakobza.
And Paul wins. Kills Feyd. The last major Harkonnen threat is gone.
Irulan agrees to marry him to save her father. The political deal is sealed.
The Emperor gives up, reluctantly passes the throne.
The great house is in orbit. They reject Paul. They won't accept him.
And this is it. The moment Paul feared. He orders the Fremen to attack the orbiting fleet.
The holy war begins. The jihad. Exactly like his visions.
Tragic irony. Stilgar, totally zealous now, leads the Fremen onto the ships, shouting, "Wood deep!"
It's happening.
Yeah.
Jessica and Aaliyah watch, knowing this is just the start of something terrible.
And check a lady. Her final act is defiance. She looks at Paul, sees the conqueror, not the man she loved.
Refuses to bow, turns her back on him, on his empire.
Calls a sandworm and prepares to ride off alone into the desert. Her face, heartbreak and resolve.
Villeneuve definitely made that ending more tragic, using her to question Paul's whole path.
Yeah, it's a powerful critique of power, of messiahs. Her leaving challenges everything Paul just gained.
Such a strong ending. Okay, so beyond the story, how did this massive thing even get made? The production journey must have been epic in itself.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, Legendary got the rights back in 2016, and Villeneuve always saw it as two parts.
Said the book was just too complex for one movie. Smart move.
Got that 2-film deal like they did with Stephen King's It.
But he was genuinely worried Part 2 might not happen, wasn't he, after the HBO Max release for Part 1?
Yeah, he was very vocal about needing the theatrical experience, but then Part 1 actually said Part 1 in the IMAX titles.
Ah, a little hint.
A promise, maybe. Legendary officially greenlit Part 2 in October 2021.
But only with that guaranteed 45-day exclusive theatrical window.
Non-negotiable for Villeneuve. He believes in cinema as an event, especially for Dune.
You can see why the scale demands it. So, the writing. Villeneuve and John Spates again.
Adapting Herbert. And Hans Zimmer. This is cool. He wrote over 90 minutes of music before the script was done.
Really? To inspire Villeneuve.
Yeah. Set the tone, the atmosphere. Amazing collaboration. The script was mostly done by March 2022.
And the new cast members were huge gets. Butler, Florence Pugh as Irulan, Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
Stellar additions. We talked about Butler's intense prep for Feyd.
Right, the SEAL training, the animal study, the Jagger swagger.
And Anya Taylor-Joy as adult Aaliyah, that cameo they kept secret for so long.
Added such a buzz when it was finally revealed.
Filming itself was global, started in Italy, then Budapest, Abu Dhabi, Jordan.
Using new locations to keep it fresh, avoid repeating the look of the first film.
All shot on those Arri Alexa LF cameras for that consistent, stunning visual quality.
And they actually filmed during a partial solar eclipse. That's incredible luck, or planning.
October 25th, 2022, they used that footage for the opening fight scene, gave it that eerie, otherworldly light.
Amazing detail. And the sound, of course, Zimmer's score. Crucial.
Absolutely. He returned, delivered another masterpiece. They released a couple of tracks early, A Time of Quiet Between the Storms, Harvester Attack.
Built that anticipation. The marketing was pretty smart, too.
The trailers were universally praised, breathtaking, jaw-droppingly weird, captured the vibe perfectly.
And the gaming tie-ins. Flight simulator letting you fly ornithopters on Arrakis.
Yeah, and Paul and Feyd as operators in Call of Duty, reaching a huge audience.
But nothing prepared us for the popcorn bucket.
Oh God, the popcorn bucket. January 2024, AMC Theaters releases this Sandworm bucket.
No, look, well, let's just say comparisons were made to certain anatomy.
It went insanely viral. TikTok, SNL, millions of views. became this huge meme.
Totally unexpected, bizarre cultural moment for the film.
Highlighted its reach in a weird way. Other studios tried to copy it, but Villeneuve was like, nope, ours was one of a kind. Accidental genius.
So all that effort led to that incredible reception we talked about. Spielberg calling it brilliant.
Nolan comparing it to The Empire Strikes Back. Highest praise imaginable in sci-fi.
But we should also note, impartially, it wasn't all perfect praise. Some critics mentioned pacing issues.
A few found it dragged in places, maybe lacked emotional depth for some side characters.
And there was that important discussion about the Mennonite influences, Middle Eastern and North African culture.
Right. Criticisms about using the culture, the aesthetics, the language, but maybe not enough representation in the main cast.
It's a valid point people raised and important to acknowledge those perspectives.
Definitely, giving the full picture. So looking ahead now, Dune, Part 3 is officially happening.
Based on Dune Messiah, the next book. Villeneuve and Legendary are developing it.
And Villeneuve wants to take his time, wants the script to be even better than Part 2.
High bar.
Extremely. He's even thinking about waiting a bit for Timothée Chalamet to age naturally into the role.
Because Messiah is set, what, 12 years later?
Exactly. Shows his commitment to getting it right.
And they've already set a date, December 18th, 2026. Mark your calendars.
Plus, they've cast Paul and Chinese kids already. Nakoa Wolf-Momoa as Leto II, Ida Brooke as Ghanima.
Wow, planning way ahead. This really is becoming a multi-generational saga on screen.
Absolutely. It's going to be fascinating to see where they take it.
So wrapping this up, Dune. Part 2 wasn't just a hit. It was a cinematic achievement.
Expanded the universe, stunning visuals, tackle huge themes. Power, destiny, faith, the human cost.
Left us all with a lot to chew on.
For sure, it wasn't just entertainment, it was thought-provoking stuff.
Which brings us to our final thought for you today. Thinking about Paul's whole arc.
From reluctant hero to this messianic leader starting a galactic war.
Do you see his choices as, tragically inevitable? Was he just swept along by destiny?
Or was it a conscious choice? Did he embrace the power, knowing the terrible cost because he saw it as the only path?
Was that holy war truly unavoidable, or did he ultimately choose to unleash it?
Deep questions, the kind Dune excels at making us ask.
Definitely something to mull over. And stay tuned for future deep dives. The talk around Part 3 is only just getting started.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.